Alrighty then. Good morning. Welcome back. Welcome back to the craziness. How's everyone doing today? Good week? Good weekend? Do some fun stuff? Hopefully. I finished Game of Thrones this weekend. That was pretty good. Enjoyed that a lot. Sad it's over, but now we got a House of Dragons, so at least we got that. Rangers lost. Good. The best part of the weekend is that I wake up with SBNY puts. That's the best part of the weekend, is that last night, as I'm watching Game of Thrones, I see that SBNY is being shut down. And then I check my account, and I'm holding SBNY puts. That's the best. That's the best gift that I had this weekend. JP Morgan is a fortress. Good week. Good job, ERC. Nice. Good morning, Chef. Shumbi. What's going on, guys? Welcome back. All right. Drink your water today. Yeah, it's suspended though, but it'll open. It'll either open or I'll exercise the options, one or the other. We'll get paid some way. Goldman Sachs on Friday was sick. Yeah, if you caught Goldman Sachs on Friday, that was an insane trade. That was probably one of the quickest 200% trades I've ever taken. We caught that live with the chat, so congratulations if you caught that. That was sick. We might be able to watch GS again today, guys. GS, definitely another watch. Banks, obviously on watch again. You have FRC, Chef? Damn. Yeah, if you have FRC. Is FRC still trading this morning? Yes, FRC is still trading. So if you can get off some, I would probably sell majority if you have it today, because if that thing halts again, you might get stuck in it. Or if that thing halts, if the FDIC halts it. So better safe than sorry. All right, so welcome back. Good morning, guys. Let's get started. Hope everyone had a good weekend. It's going to be an interesting week. We got no economic data today, but we have CPI tomorrow. You guys know that CPI, right? This is definition. Excuse me. This is definition of insanity. Every time we have CPI, the day prior, usually not a great trading day, right? Usually pretty choppy, a lot of anticipation in the CPI. Maybe it's a little different this time around because of all this bank stuff going on, but I'm going to assume today that it's not a great trading day. So that's how I'm coming into the trading day. I'm making sure to be protective, knowing that there's plenty of opportunity this week. Monday, I don't need to get crazy aggressive on a Monday. CPI tomorrow. Likely after CPI, we get some type of move, so we can probably take advantage Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, rather than try to blow ourselves up on a Monday that barely moves. That's how I'm thinking about today as of right now. So coming into the day with that idea, right? Knowing that tomorrow is going to be pretty big, knowing that the day before a move like CPI, it's pretty choppy, it's not great price action. We need to understand that. If you don't consider this, it's the definition of insanity. We've seen it every single time. We've seen shit price action before CPI. Sometimes we get chopped up in it. If you continue to do it, you're continuing to do the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. What is the definition of that? I think we can answer it. All right, so that's how I'm coming into today. There's some very nice levels to watch, some big stuff to watch on the banks. SBNY, SIVB obviously crushed. We've talked about this one on Tuesday of last week, I think, before any of this happened, sort of right at the start of the collapse. So if you guys took a little bit of insight from the live stream and you played a little bit of it, congratulations. Probably one of the best trades you'll ever take. Percentage-wise, that was insane. I didn't strongly suggest anything because those types of moves are a little bit of a wild card, right? A little bit of a dark horse sort of move. So I'm not going to go and put my neck on the line and say, oh, go buy puts. But I brought it up, right? We had to be watching that, and it was crazy what happened. So congrats if you caught any of those. The big banks are worth watching today again, right? GS, JP Morgan, some of them moving lower this morning. Good watches there as well. So we're going to get into all of that today. So let's do it. Before we get started, press the like button. If you guys could, subscribe to the channel if you guys could. If you're new here, if you want to be in a live stream every single morning starting at 8 a.m., you can go ahead and press that subscribe button. We're here every single day. So today's the 13th, and let's pull up the economic calendar because this is pretty important this week. Very important this week, actually. Probably one of the most important things of the week. You guys can see right here. Okay. Monday, March 13th, right? Nothing there, right? Nothing on the schedule. So that's something to watch out for, right? No, it's not. There's nothing on the schedule. What we do have today is a little Biden conference, Biden speech at 9 o'clock. So we could see if there's anything there. That's going to be before market open. So we'll see that in the pre-market around 9 o'clock. He'll be speaking. Not sure what's going to be said, but we can pay attention to that. Tomorrow, NFIB Optimism Index, I don't really think that's much. 6 a.m. tomorrow, I don't expect that to do much. Really, tomorrow is all about this, right? CPI, core CPI, and CPI year over year, month over month. That's the big one tomorrow. We watch out for that, right? That's big. That's going to be market moving. So definitely watching what happens there tomorrow, right? We obviously are watching CPI. All right. Wednesday, retail sales, right? Retail sales and then PPI. So we have CPI Tuesday, PPI Wednesday, and retail sales Wednesday. Again, pretty major economic data to be watching out for, right? If we try to predict the moves on Tuesday and Wednesday, you are going to lose your money. We do not try to predict what happens here. There is absolutely no reason to try and predict what happens on these moves. You guys have seen the volatility in the market. You've seen upside when it doesn't make sense. You've seen downside when it doesn't make sense. You've seen things that you do not predict. So don't try to predict what happens here. CPI, PPI, we react. We use our strategy. We take advantage of the intraday moves when they happen. Right? We use our skills to trade it. But we don't just buy something because we're trying to predict what happens. CPI and PPI, big stuff Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday, initial jobless claims, housing starts, building permits, pretty normal Thursday there. And then Friday starts to lean off. Nothing much there on Friday. All right? So, FOMC on Wednesday next week. Damn. So, nothing today, but tomorrow and Wednesday, big stuff, guys. And, right, what I talked about this morning about maybe not the best price action day, probably, right, you can see big stuff Tuesday, big stuff Wednesday, even more of a reason why I think today could be a little bit of a non-event. So that's what we're looking at there. Is there anything on the earnings calendar? Let's go ahead and see. I didn't even check it yet. All right, here we go. Let's pop that up. All right, so earnings calendar. You guys can see nothing crazy. GitLab, Turtle Beach, nothing really here. Skills, small shit. Adobe maybe. FedEx. Is that Meta? Did they change their logo? That's not Meta. I don't know what that is. That's not Facebook. No. I mean, I don't think that is. That's not Meta. No. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what the hell that stock is. Maybe they're trying to pretend to be Meta. FedEx. Yeah, there's nothing really here. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know why that's. I don't know what company that is. That's not Meta. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, earnings calendar, bunch of nonsense, bunch of nothing. I have no interest in any of it. So that's that. All right. Bank trouble. We're going to go ahead and take a look at all the banks today. Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, all the big ones. We'll talk a little bit about, all the situation that's going on. I'll talk a little bit about what you are going to have to prepare for if you are in SIVB or SBNY, right? If you have options that are, if the market is closed, right? If the stocks are halted, I'll talk a little bit about what's going to happen there for you. Just give you a little bit insight there. Tesla 180 supply, Nvidia 232.50. TSM bear flag. I'm really interested in this one. This looks really good. This looked good on Friday. Broke a bear flag on the daily. Definitely watching this setup today. Coin, keeping an eye on this thing. Coin was pretty aggressive to the downside on Friday. Coinbase is a little bit wrapped up in all this stuff going on, so definitely watching Coinbase today. Meta, 180 to 185 channel. Keeping an eye on this channel today. And then finally, Netflix 300 rejections. So that's what I have. There's obviously a lot more stuff to watch. But we'll get over as much as we can today in the live stream, all right? So let's go ahead and start with the futures. Yeah, pretty aggressive stuff going on this morning. So last night, we got a little bit of a fake pop into this supply around this 39.50. It's all in this zone up here. Really, I think it is like this previous low right in this general area. It was right like this 39.70 previous low is that supply that rejected. I'm going to delete that for now because that's just going to be where our 200 SMA is. So you guys can see this is, again, the perfect break and retest rejection last night. We got a fake pop, right, back into the previous lows, right back into this low, retested it, rejected it, and look at the reaction. So that was probably the cleanest move of the entire day. Probably going to be the cleanest move of the entire day, right? Last night, major supply rejection, really at futures open, like 4 a.m. pre-market open, right back into the previous lows. Absolutely gorgeous rejection of that 39.70 retest. So could not have been any cleaner there. Right back through the 100, right back through the 200. A rejection this morning at Friday's highs. That's another thing you want to look at, right? Look at this rejection at Friday's highs this morning. So you can see we popped here in the pre-market. We had a big wick rejection. And where did that wick rejection come in? No surprise, right? Previous highs, previous highs, previous highs. Rejection, rejection, rejection. What happens when you trade back into it off demand? Boom, retested it, rejected it. Two extremely clean price action moves so far this morning. Supply rejection of 39.70, supply rejection of 39.30. So those levels are clearly levels to watch, right? 39.30, 39.28, this zone here, absolutely textbook rejections this morning. Friday's highs, rejection, and then the previous lows, rejection. Could not have gotten any cleaner so far this morning. Now, we are through this 38.85, 3900 demand zone, right? We had demand step in here. Go ahead and mark this out. We had demand step in here. We had demand step in here. We had demand step in here early this morning. Now you guys can see we are trading below it as of right now. So what am I looking for today? What will I be eyeing intraday today? I'm going to go to the 5-minute chart, and I'm going to share with you sort of what I'll be looking for today. I'm going to be looking to see, does 38.85 turn into a rejection today? Do we turn this low, this high, in this low again into a rejection today, right? That would be the perfect setup for some intraday action. Does that happen today? Does it give it to us clean the day before CPI? I'm not sure. But you can clearly see this low, Friday's lows, and not only was it Friday's lows, it was a perfect break and retest in the Friday after hours. Look at this. Rejection, flush, retest, bam. Previous day lows or intraday lows into a rejection, textbook, right? Break, retest, rejection. Beautiful. Now, you can see that same level was respected this morning right there, 38.85. So I'm going to be watching to see what happens at 38.85 today, right around this 38.85. What happens at that previous low? If we turn that into a rejection today, that would be probably the trigger for some potentially more downside, maybe back towards that 39.50 level that was held up on Friday, right? So to short this market, I really want to see a strong rejection around this 38.85. Maybe you look up at 3900 here. This whole zone is a little bit interesting, right? I'm not sure how clean it's going to be in this zone. It wasn't very clean in the past. This was probably the cleanest rejection we got on Friday, break and retest rejection at 38.85. But this whole zone, you can see we're trading right back above it. It's going to be a little bit interesting, right? A little bit choppy. Not sure how confident I am at the moment. You can see we're right back into it. So this zone is a little bit of a no trade zone for me. This 3900, 38.85. Going to be looking to see sort of what happens in here today. If we just chop in here today, if we chop in this channel, might be a little bit of a difficult trading day. But if we can get a really clean rejection of 38.85 today, that would be probably the cleanest setup, right? If we could do a little break and retest of the pre-market lows, we have Friday's lows, right? If we can get a break and retest of that, then I would love to see that fade into that 38.50 level. That would be really clean, right? That would be a clean move. So going to keep an eye on that one. 38.85 rejections. It's very clear, right? It's very clear. We do not want to go long into this level. 39.30. If we get another move into 39.30 today, oh, look at that rejection right there. Oof. Damn. That was... Damn. Yep, it just happened. Potentially right there. Look at that little rejection of 38.85 right here in the pre-market. So, yeah, definitely a watch at this level. All right, clearly. Let's go ahead and turn that red because that's definitely that is definitely a level to watch now, right? Look at that rejection at 38.85. This is going to be a big level to watch today. Pre-market lows, previous Friday's lows. Do we stay under 38.85 today? If we do, I would expect weakness. If we just jump back into it, I would expect some choppiness. I would not even consider, in my opinion, right? I don't need to take every trade today. Right? This is something that I talked about in the Discord on Friday. You do not need to trade every move on the market. I am not confident on trading upside today if we are not above 39.30. Right? If we are not above this rejection point, I really do not have any interest in longs. It just does not make sense. It doesn't make sense to try to get into a sweaty long here, try to hope that the market pushes, knowing that it's totally against everything right now. You're like against the odds, in my opinion, right now, trying to long this market. You might get a little bit of a push. You might catch a little something. Maybe I'm wrong, right? Maybe you break and you get a nice little 40-point rally here. I'm not interested in this move. I have no interest in this. When I zoom out, right, and I go to the daily chart, you can't even see the move between 38.85 and 39.30. You don't even see it. It's not something I'm interested in. Maybe it happens, right? Maybe there's some juice there that you could take advantage of. Do I want to take advantage of that today? Would I rather just go outside and enjoy the rest of my day and wait for CPI? Probably. So I'm more interested in this 38.85 supply rejection, maybe back in the 38.50 demand. There's just really no reason to look long here. Yeah, I mean, I would agree with that even more, Mr. TNT. There's no confidence on longs until over 39.70. I totally agree. You could try this long over 39.30, right? That would be like an aggressive long, maybe back into the 70s. But I totally agree. There's really no reason to be long under 40.20, to be honest, if we really zoom out. So you don't have to take every trade. Today, this looks like an uphill battle if you're trying to long this market. Sure, there might be demand bounces. Sure, there might be some short-term opportunities, but not sure I want to get into that today. So I'm going to keep an eye on these supply rejections, 38.85, 39.30, looking to see if these reject for some short-term downside. That's really my main watch. If we get into that 38.50, you have to take profits though, right? We can't be shorting into 38.50. That's very clear. You guys can see the little double bottom from Friday. We're not shorting into the lows. So looking for 38.85 today and looking for 39.30. Those are my main levels. How we trade between here is a little bit difficult in my opinion. I'm not sure how we trade in here. In this 38.85 to 3900. I'm going to have to watch the price action in this zone here. So that's the levels on the ES. Let's go to the SPY real quick, right? This is pretty clear right now. This is extremely clear right now, right? 388 on the SPY, Friday's lows. Look at the rejection that came in at Friday's lows here in the pre-market. Absolutely gorgeous. Look at the rejection that came in on Friday at the 200 and 100 SMA. Absolutely perfect. Just like a textbook double top at the 200 and 100 SMA. This is a fat level right here. This is like a stacked up level up at 394, 393. You got the 100 SMA, the 200 SMA, and a previous supply rejection. I had to go back, but there's a supply rejection there as well. So a huge level up at 393, 394. You can see gap up in the pre-market to that level on the SPY, and then bam. I mean, just a straight melt right off that level again. Absolutely perfect supply rejection at 393, 394. Now today, right, you can see previous lows, 388, previous highs, 388. Where did we reject in the pre-market? 388. Absolutely textbook once again. So the technical levels are holding up, right? That's good. We like to see that. Now today, we can't get too aggressive on the short side until we see a very clear break and retest hold below Friday's lows. That's around that 384.50, 380. I would say around 384.50. Right? You can see we're still battling here. This is still a little bit of a battle right now. We need to get a clear move and a clear rejection of this 384.50. As of now, I would be careful on the short side into this double bottom low. It does not make sense to short into double bottom lows. Yes, you might be wanting to take downside today. Yes, you might be very bearish today, but we can't short into double bottom lows. If we can get a move under that low, if we can start to see something like this, and then we can look for that slide. But we have to see this double bottom low from Friday on the SPY turn into a rejection. That's right around 384, 384.50. That is what I would be watching today. I think that's a major watch. That could be what causes a little bit of the downside if we stay under Friday's lows. If we stay above Friday's lows, I would expect us to trade in this channel all day. I would expect us to trade in this channel probably all day. in anticipation for CPI. So 384.50, 388, those are my levels to watch. If you stay under 384.50 today, there's not much. There's not much. If we stay under 384.50 today, I mean, you're back in this channel. Remember, this 384.50 is also these previous channel highs. So you guys can see right here. This whole zone's pretty big. It's these previous channel highs here, 384.50. If we stay under that, then maybe we trade down to the channel lows, right? That would be the idea. 376, 375 area. That would be if we really reject that 384.50, 384, and then we start to slide in this channel over here, right? So that's what I'd watch on the SPY. Hopefully that helps you guys. NASDAQ. So the NASDAQ is outperforming slightly. Now, why is that happening? You guys should know this. If you don't know this, you have to pay attention to what is the NASDAQ versus the S&P. The NASDAQ is not being affected by the bank stocks moving down. The biggest thing that's going to be affected by the bank stocks is the Dow Jones. The Goldman Sachs is a huge part of the Dow Jones. Goldman Sachs going down is very bad for the Dow. The ES is also equally as affected. Some big banks in the S&P 500, obviously. NASDAQ, not as affected by this. This is why the NASDAQ is green today. The NASDAQ is green because tech stocks are not getting as impacted to this downside because it is mostly driven by the bank stocks. So if you want to short something, right, be a little bit careful shorting the NASDAQ today. You'd have to see tech start to give up. If tech does not give up, the NASDAQ may not move it down as much as you'd like in regards to like what the S&P and the Dow does. So make sure you pay attention to that. This is a huge level on the NASDAQ. I don't have any interest in shorting the NASDAQ into this 12,000 level. I have zero interest. You can see the games that were played here. You can see the 200 and the 50 SMA. I would not be getting aggressive on shorts into this level until it turns into a very clear rejection. 12,000 to around 11,920, right? Right here, 12,000 to 11,920, about this 80-point range looks pretty scammy. I guess that's the word I would use. I would not be very confident in holding a short through this area. The area where I'd look to see if we could short is if we can break, retest, reject this 11,920, 11,930 area. That would be where I'd be interested. If we can break the 50, break the 200, break these lows, then I would look for that rejection of 11,920, right? So that's what I'm watching. Sam, yeah, I get it, man, but I'm just making a statement. The statement is that tech is not as affected because of the banks. That's just the statement. It's very true, and that's what it is. Okay. 11,920, 200 SMA, 50 SMA. Big levels here, big demand here. I would be careful on the short side into this level. If you want to look to short tech, I would wait for the rejection of the 200. I would wait for this zone to turn into a resistance point, and then maybe we could get that slide, all right? So keep an eye on that right down here. And then to the upside, very clear supply above, right in this previous low, right? We're not longing into this previous low. No interest. You guys can see right here, previous lows, major rejections, 20 SMA rejection up here. Have absolutely no interest. If you try to long it off this level, maybe you catch something, right? Maybe there's a nice little demand bounce here today on the NASDAQ, back up into that 12,140, possible. But if you are holding longs here, you are you're totally wishing, right? You're totally just hoping that we break higher because it is very clear that this is a previous low. This is a major rejection. There is no reason to have longs anywhere on the 50% and up of this. So let's take, for example, right, this channel right here. Let's say you take a long down here and you look for that upside demand. Sure, risk reward's not bad if you want to try that. If you take a long anywhere above the 50% line of this channel, you are starting to look at a terrible risk reward, right? If you take longs anywhere above like 12,070, your risk reward here is now 1-to-1, right? 1-to-1. So you really don't want to get involved into anything that's like a 0.6-to-1, right? If you take it at the 61.8, you're taking a 0.6-to-1. If you take it at the 78%, you're taking a 0.2-to-1. It doesn't make sense. So this is the channel I'd watch now. 11,980, 12,000, 12,140. This is the channel I would be watching today on the NASDAQ. Fraternal House, then buy calls, man. Buy calls. I mean, you don't need to come here and tell us that. Just buy calls, and then you can come back tomorrow and show us your option gains on the stocks that are going to rebound today. I mean, I'm not saying they won't, but you don't know that. So please don't. You have no idea. If you knew, you would not be in this live stream. All right? If we all knew what was going to happen, you would not be here. If you're here, then you're looking to take educated trades. You're looking to play off supply demand. You're looking to trade intraday moves. You're looking to stay nimble, looking to take any move that occurs in the market. If you're not here, or if you are here, then you don't know what's going to happen, including myself. I'm here too. So I don't know what's going to happen either. If you can't change that mindset in your trading, it's not going to be good. All right. Dow Jones, right? Dow Jones. 32,000, right? You guys can see huge demand here. 32,000, 32,000. If this breaks this 32,000, I'd say watch these lows, 31.8. Put a line at that 31.8 right here. All right, this whole zone down here really is the demand on the Dow. But let's go ahead and put this line here. So this whole area, 31.8 to 32,000, tough area to short in, right? Anywhere in this zone, this 200-point zone, I would be cautious on the short side, right? 32,000 to 31.8. Just be careful on the short side there, right? Because you can see the previous demand that stepped up on the Dow, so be cautious on that. All right. If you break under Friday's lows, then maybe that slip does continue. If you hold this demand, then maybe there's a little bit of an upside move today, right? If you hold this demand, if you hold this previous low, then maybe you're just in this channel. But if the banks do fall today again, if you see GS fall, JP Morgan fall, then then the Dow will likely be the one that gets affected the most. Here, Jay Price, here's $5 for you and a coffee, and for me to tell you that I know this. I know. I know this chat is straight comedy sometimes. Yeah, it is. It definitely is. But it's all good. So, yeah, 31.8, 32,000. Watch that zone, and then watch this channel here on the Dow. RTY. All right, guys. So Russell, absolutely textbook. Look at this stuff. That was sick on Friday. You got that push back into that 13 or that 830 on the Russell. What a rejection there at the 200. You guys can see really nice fade on that 1830 level on the RTY, right? Very nice fade off that 200. I think the Russell's pretty damn weak, guys. I don't really see how the Russell holds up much. Small caps, this is not the environment now again for small caps. I mean, I could see the Russell testing these lows. 1740. I don't think the Russell has much support until these lows here. So, Russell definitely weak. Watch that 1730 level. All right, so that's the futures. Hopefully that helps. We'll take another look here on the ES. Yeah, look at what the ES is starting to do. Look what the ES is starting to do. Look at that rejection that's starting to set in at 38.85. This could be really nice. So it's very clear that this... Oh, yeah. That could be really nice. Oh. Yeah, look at this. Look at this little 38.85 retest right now. Watch this for me. Let me know what happens here. This could be an aggressive little flush here. Is it going to happen right now? Oh. What a clean setup right now, though. Right, risk rewards there. Stop over 38.85. Retest to the pre-market lows. Man, that looks pretty clean right there. But yeah, let's see what happens. That's pretty interesting on the ES as of right now as we speak. All right, let's continue. Bank trouble. Goldman Sachs. We got a sick move on Friday on Goldman Sachs. Just an absolute meltdown into this zone. We talked about this zone on the live stream on Friday. We said if Goldman Sachs turns 340 into a rejection, then we could melt right through this level. Right? We said this in the live stream. We said if we stay under 340, there is little to no support here in this zone between 340 and around 330. And you guys can see, right? We got a 1 minute chart. Look at this 340 level. Look at this 340 level on Friday. That was the previous low, major previous low, flush straight out of the gates, retest 340, and again, another perfect rejection of 340. Absolutely textbook on the Goldman Sachs. Now today, I'm looking for the same damn thing. I'm looking to see, does Goldman Sachs turn the previous lows into a rejection? If Goldman Sachs cannot get back above 326 today, I'm looking for that same move. Right? 326. If the banks are weak today, I'm looking to see, does Goldman Sachs stay below Friday's lows? And if it does, right, again, I really don't see much support here on Goldman Sachs. Really, the major support's down at this 290 level. Do the banks get hit again today? That's the main question. If Goldman Sachs stays below Friday's lows, 326, I'm looking to see some more downside. Something that I would watch is the XLF. The XLF is getting pretty demolished right now, is I guess the word to say. XLF broke below the 33 level, right? You tried to hold it on Friday, right? 33. You had a really big fight here on 33 on Friday, and look at what's happening this morning. Really aggressive flush under 33. If we go to the daily chart, you guys can see this is a major 33 demand. We are back below it. Go back to the 4 hour. Under 33, I don't think there's much life on the banks if the XLF stays under that level. Really, the next level on XLF is down here at 31. Big break on the XLF 33. If we stay under 33 on the XLF, I would expect more bank downside. JP Morgan, a little bit resilient on Friday, right? Bounced off this demand at 128. Right, this demand right here at 128. Big bounce off that demand on Friday. But where did we push back into? We pushed right back into this 136 supply. Rejection, rejection, rejection. We pushed right back into that 136 supply. Look at this rejection at 136 this morning. Absolutely perfect. JP Morgan, I would watch this channel. If JP Morgan breaks 128, I would expect more downside. Right? If you get a little break and retest of 128, I would look for further downside here, if the banks stay weak, of course. JP Morgan, maybe one of the more resilient names, one of the more resilient bank names, so be careful on that. But I would be watching this 128 level on JPM. All right. One more bank I wanted to look at was BAC, because this is breaking and holding below a major level, Bank of America, like a really, really big level here. I think this is the lows of 2022 and now 2023. Yes, it is. Yeah. Bank of America is holding below a pretty major level here. This is a 29, 50, 30 level here. This is the lows of 2022, and now we are at new lows. All right. If we go to the 4 hour chart, you guys can see that $29.60, $30 level, which is the lows of 2022. All right. You can see right here. This is the lows of 2022. Support. Look at this hold below this level right now. That's that's a little concerning. Right? That's a little concerning. That's Bank of America at new lows. So, yeah. Watch that. That's big. That's big. Oh, man, does it get any cleaner? Oh, yeah. Who caught that? Damn. Does it get any cleaner? Break, retest, rejection, 38.85, wedge, bam, trade, done for the day. Absolutely hot. Awesome. Congratulations if you caught that. And you're in the sunset now. You're riding into the sunset. So that was sick. All right, so that's the banks. I mean, we can go over SIVB, but they're both halted for trading. SIVB, just ton of really bad loans to startup companies that can't pay them. bank runs, crypto, SBNY, very similar story, except they were even worse, I think. I'm pretty sure SBNY was giving money to some pretty shady or weird crypto things like crypto gambling, etc. Just really bad management by these banks. I made a joke on Friday, which is, I think, pretty funny. Crypto was like a Trojan horse for some banks. It's funny how crypto is one of the main reasons for some of these banks getting destroyed. Like crypto is like the thing that is against like fiat currency, right? Against banking, against all of that. And it's almost like crypto was the Trojan horse that got brought into the banks, into some of these banks, and then ended up eating it away from the inside. It's very interesting how this is all going down. It's definitely an interesting time, right? You get crypto, you get banks starting to get involved with it. It's like the Trojan horse at the door. They invite them in, and then this happens. It's crazy. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. All right. Let's continue. Tesla. Ooh. What's going on here? What is going on here? Damn. All right. Well, that's sort of gone. Damn. I didn't want this move to happen already. All right. So 165. Yeah, 165 is huge on Tesla here, guys. This is the 50 SMA. This is a previous low right here, and this is a previous low right here. Let's go ahead and zoom in on this. This is a big level on Tesla. Tesla's starting to get a little whopped here. Let's zoom in. What's the exact low? Exact low is 162.78. 162.78. Let's put a line there. Anywhere from like 160. Let me zoom out again. Yeah, what's the lows over here? The lows here are I would say anywhere between 165 and 162.74. I'm going to go 162.74, 165. All right, let's go back to this over here now. So we know this little area here could be some potential demand. We have the 50 SMA. We have 165 previous lows, 162 area previous lows. If we start breaking through that, this could be some aggressive downside here. So we got the previous lows from back here in November. That's 165. And then we have the lows here in early February, late January, 162.75. All right, so if we start breaking that, there's not much down here. So watch out for this whole zone here on Tesla. Be careful on the short side now, right? This was really the short we wanted today off the 180 retest. This was really the short you wanted, right? Retest of 180 and the short there at the 180, and then you get this move. So this move, in my opinion, is a little bit like this is the trade I wanted intraday. So I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm shorting Tesla at the open now, right? This is the move I wanted. So I would like to see maybe a little bit of a demand bounce off this 165 area, maybe into like Friday's lows, 170. That would be sort of what I'd be looking for. Can we get a break and retest of 170 here? If we can get a little retest of 170, reject that, then I got my risk reward better. So 165, 50 SMA down here, watch that. I would look for a retest of 170 at the very least today for downside. I would not be chasing this downside. That move, this is the right move, right? So Tesla, Nvidia, oof, big break on Nvidia there. Yeah, all right. So 4-hour chart. All right, so we want to look for, a break under that 223 could be big, right? That's a gap fill, I believe. Yeah, if we break under 223, right? You got a big gap here on Nvidia. Big gap. So pay attention to the Nvidia today. You guys can see right here. 1 hour chart, Nvidia, 223.50, right in here. You guys can see previous lows, 223.50. If we break that, I would watch this gap potential. Look at this move right here. This could be very, very juicy on Nvidia. Keep this on your charts. 223.50, maybe 223 you give it, just to be a little safe. You give it that whole number, 223. If you can get a little break and hold under 223, you might have some juice here. Really nice. Oh, man, look at this bear flag. Oh, God, that's clean. 30-minute. Where was that bear flag? Hourly? Yeah, look at that. That's clean. That's really clean. Huge flush under that flag. 232.50 rejection. Yeah, so clean. Rejection of these previous lows. Low, low, break and retest. Another textbook rejection there. Nvidia is getting sort of hit here. I hope it does not break this 223 before open. I want to get a piece of that. So watching that one. TSM bear flag. Yeah, this is something I'd be getting interested in here, guys, as well. Called this out in the chat on Friday. Called it out here in the live stream as well, but I know some of you guys took this bear flag swing trade. This is looking good. This is looking real good. I don't think you can ask for a cleaner daily chart bear flag here on TSM. Look at this. Really clean little slow uptrend, low volume into the previous lows. Major bear flag break on Friday. We're under 87 now, which is a big level to break. If this continues, I think you're easily back at 83 here on TSM. There is nothing here that makes me think that this stock is going to hold up, especially if chip stocks start to get hit today, like you see Nvidia. This is a major watch for me. You guys can see right here, really nice bear flag. Break of this 87 level. This is really nice stuff. So if we can stay under 87 today, if we stay under this double bottom low right here, I think you're into the glory lands here. So definitely watching 87. If we reject 87 today, I'll be looking to maybe potentially take this myself back into 83. This is very nice look. I would be watching this one today. All right. Coinbase. Oh, yeah. Coinbase. What a rejection here. Textbook stuff again. God, there's textbook setups all over the place here. Look at this rejection, please. Look at this. Previous low, rejection this morning, rejection. Absolutely perfect stuff here, right at 59. I mean, just textbook stuff. Support here, rejection. It does not get any cleaner than that. Coinbase, big downside here. Broke that wedge we were talking about on the live stream. We were talking about this wedge. We were saying watch for a break of the wedge. Big break of the wedge. Big rejection of 59. I don't see much support here on Coinbase until like 46. So I would look for Coinbase for continuation today if this move starts to unravel. 46 would be really the true demand. There's a little bit of there's some previous lows here, but that Coinbase move looks real nice. Meta's been a little bit of an outperformer today, but I don't think it can hold up against the entire market. So Meta's starting to flush a little bit. You guys can see Meta is back under 180s. So I would look for Meta to drop like this 177.50. If it does, I think you got move into 170. I would watch this previous double top here around 177.50. If we turn 177.50 into a rejection point, that would be a move into 170. I'd watch that. This little gap right here, this little low volume, not really any true demand here is what I'd watch under 177.50. Next one, Netflix. It's probably already dead. Yeah, I mean, Netflix, look at these 300 rejections. Look at this 300 rejection on Friday. Even after a total meltdown on Thursday, it couldn't even get back over 300. Jeez. Oh, yeah. Look at that rejection at 300 on Friday. Looks like you're not going to get the pleasure of shorting off 300 today. Unless we can get a pullback or a push to the upside. Next real level on Netflix is down here at 280. All right, there's nothing really on Netflix until 280 here. Previous low, previous low, previous low. There's really nothing here until 280 on Netflix. I would look for that today as well. All right. We can go over Apple. Yeah, Apple, big drop here. Under 147 is pretty big. Watch Apple 200 SMA. Wow, 3850. We're going at 3800. Oh my God, who took this? God, if you took this wedge, you are a rich person right now. Man, do I wish I had my futures account open right there. Oh my goodness. Well, you were here live. You saw it live here on the stream. We said, wow, look at this wedge. If this wedge breaks, look for the downside. Holy shit. Congratulations if you took that wedge break. That is nice. That is really nice. Oh, man. All right. Congrats if you caught that. Let's get a quick update on the futures before we head out. I think you're trading back into 3,800 potentially here. So, yeah, I mean, this is really your next true demand right here. 3,800, right? 3,800 on the ES is your next true demand. SPY, really, it's down here around 378, 376. You're in that channel that we talked about, all right? You're in that channel. On the NASDAQ, not much on the NASDAQ if we do start to move lower until like 11,520. Right? These lows here, 11,520. 11,520. All right. I'm going to head out of here. It's 8:50. Sorry I didn't get to any more stocks today, but some more important stuff going on here. Futures is what you should be watching. Watch the 39.50 level right here. Watch the 39.50 level, Friday's lows, and watch 3,800 now. 38.50. I'm sorry. I don't know if I said 39. 38.50, 3,800 now. That's what I'd be watching. 38.50, 3,800, 38.85. Those are your futures levels to watch today. All right. Best of luck today. I'm going to head out. I got to head over to the chat. Thank you guys for being here. 1,600 people, 400 likes. Man, the likes are hard to come by these days. If you guys could press the like button, if you've been sitting here watching, if you enjoy the streams, if they help you every day, if you come here every morning, there's no excuse not to press the like button. I'd appreciate that. That would be much appreciated. You guys can see we're trying to hold that 38.50 now. So that 38.50 is the level here. That's Friday's lows, right? That's Friday's lows. So watch out for that one. We might reject 38.50 right there. That would be big. All right, guys. Press the like button. Subscribe to the channel. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Best of luck today. Watch your futures levels. Do not chase this move. Wait for some kind of risk-reward setup. That's the biggest thing. Wait for risk-reward to be on your side. All right? Thanks again, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.